Hey, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for being here. I am Organic Sister, and this is Black Girl World. I just want to give you guys a quick rundown, real quick, just to let you guys know what I've been up to and what's been going on in these past couple of months. I know it's been a lot. It's been real crazy, especially around these times, uncertain times. And there's been a lot going on my end, which is why I haven't been able to post videos as often as I would like to. So yeah, let me just let you know, when I was pregnant, yes, I was pregnant. I had the baby. So we'll get to that in a second. So when I was pregnant, I went to visit my midwife for a routine checkup. And all of a sudden, when you go in there, they take your vital signs, they take your blood pressure, your temperature, your weight, and all that stuff. And when they took my blood pressure, they said it was kind of high. It was like elevated. And I was like, okay. And they did it again. It was still high. And now they tell me that this means that I have gestational hypertension. And I'm like, what? Okay. So what does this mean exactly? Gestational hypertension is just a fancy way of saying high blood pressure during pregnancy. Okay. So, so now they tell me that I had risked out of the birth center because I was planning to have my baby at the birth center and do a natural birth, a water birth. That was my whole plan. I had everything all set out. So when they told me that I couldn't have the baby at the birth center anymore and that now I'm at high risk, I was kind of I was feeling a certain way. I was feeling kind of devastated. Like, I remember sitting in the in the midwife's office, and I just kind of like cried right there. I was really emotional. They told me that they want me to go in for further testing. So they sent me over to the hospital, which is like right across the street. Went over to the hospital and I was admitted. They did all these testing. They tested my blood, my urine. They took my blood pressure again. Now, every time they were taking my blood pressure like pretty consistently. And every single time they took my blood pressure after that, it was normal. So we're like, okay, what the hell is up with this? But anyway, so they did my blood and they did my urine. And when they took my urine, they said there was protein in my urine. So now they tell me that this could possibly mean I have preeclampsia. Now, for those that don't know, preeclampsia is a pretty serious birth complication. It's also one of the leading causes of maternal mortality, which basically means that women who are pregnant and give birth, they don't always make it when you have preeclampsia. So now I'm like, okay, this is some scary shit. And I remember sitting there, lying there in the hospital, and I was trying to go on Google to get more information. Don't do that. Don't ever go on Google. Don't ever go on Google if you're looking for information on things like that. You don't want to do that because Google will tell you that you're going to die. No, not necessarily, but they will give you like the worst case scenario. You don't need that kind of negativity. But anyway, so now they found protein in my urine, and they were like, okay, so because we're at a community hospital, I was in a community hospital. They said because I'm in a community hospital, I would need to go. They were going to transfer me to another bigger hospital in Boston. And I was like, whoa. So they had to transfer me to another hospital. I had to stay there overnight because for the next 24 hours, they want to test my urine just so they can see how much protein is in there. And if it's over a certain number, then I'll be officially diagnosed with preeclampsia. And that would also mean that if I had preeclampsia, I would have to stay in the hospital until I gave birth. And I was just like, whoa. And if I don't have preeclampsia, then basically, I'm free to go for now. So we're like, okay, so wow, this is a lot. They're telling me all this. I'm like, okay, can you just give me a minute so I can like process all this? So, I was there, and next thing you know, they sent an ambulance for me. When I got transferred to the other hospital in the ambulance, and when I got there, now they're telling me that, okay, they basically saying the same thing the other doctor was saying. For the next 24 hours, we're going to have you pee into this big container, and just keep collecting your pee for the next 24 hours. Just collect your pee over here. If your pee, so that's what they're telling me is that if my pee is over, I guess the protein that they found in my pee is over, I don't know what unit of measurement that they use, but 300 was the magic number. So if it's over 300, then I had preeclampsia, and I would have to stay there in the hospital until I gave birth. And regardless, they would have to, they would keep me into the hospital until I gave birth, and they would induce me at 34 weeks. Which means my baby will be premature, and there's a lot of risk involved in that. if I had preeclampsia, because they figured that it'd be safer to have the baby sooner rather than later. Because the longer I go carrying the baby, the more risk I am of complications. But if the number was under 300, I'm free to go home, but I would still have to be induced at 37 weeks. But if I make it to 37 weeks, I can still have my baby at the community hospital instead of going to a big hospital. And the big difference between that is like, okay, yes, originally I wanted to be at the birth center, but at least at the community hospital, I can do as much as I can according to the original plan as possible. Like I can labor in the water, but I can't birth in the water. I can do natural if I wanted to, and I would there'd be less medical intervention, but I'm still in the hospital in case something happens or whatever. At the bigger hospital, it's totally medical interventions. I would lose my midwife, so I would have to go get an OB, and yeah. So so fast forward a little bit, and 24 hours goes by, and my number's at 251. So I'm like, whew, okay, good, thank God. So that means I don't have preeclampsia, but I still do have gestational hypertension. So I would still, regardless, be induced at 37 weeks at the community hospital. So I'm like, all right, well, this is good news. At least I don't have to stay in the hospital until the baby's born. Mind you, this whole entire time while this was going on, that whole week was around, I think my son was on vacation from school, and my cabinets in my house were being repainted. So because of the paint fumes and everything, my son and I, we were staying at an Airbnb. we were staying at an Airbnb about 30 to 45 minutes away from where I lived. So while all this is going on, all this is going on, I'm in the hospital. Now we're trying to find ways to who's going to stay with my son at the Airbnb. Good thing I had my mother and also my husband who was there. Like, we were all trying to get together, try to figure things out. So it was just a lot of, I only mentioned that to mention that there was a lot of drama going on with that. Okay, so once I was cleared to go home, 37 weeks, but I still had to keep an eye on my blood pressure. Still had to have it monitored, keep an eye on it, keep track of it, because if anything happens and my blood pressure was to spike up again, they would have to, who knows, I might have to go back to the hospital, I might be readmitted, I don't know what's going on. But thank God my blood pressure behaved itself, so from that time on, and so it was all right. So that was good. Let me see, a couple of weeks after that, I had my baby shower. And I was worried because I almost didn't have this baby shower because of everything that was going on. But so the baby shower ended up being great. It was a success. Everything came out really, really good. It was fantastic. What's pretty special about this baby shower was that this was the last gathering that I had before this whole COVID-19 coronavirus thing took hold. Yes. And what's crazy is that this baby shower was almost going to happen the following week. And if it was the following week, we probably would have had to cancel it because that's when everything started really going down. And then 1 week later, that's when they shut down, the government ordered a shutdown on the schools and the businesses and everything around the area. And we've been isolated in the house ever since, with the exception of groceries and going to the doctor for appointments and stuff like that. So it was kind of crazy. It's a lot going on. So now, my son, I have a 3-year-old son at home who's been out of school ever since that whole thing happened. More and more time goes on, I'm sitting here asking myself why is all this happening at the same time? It was a lot of drama. It was a lot going on. But anyway, so now they tell me that because of the coronavirus going on, now when it's time to go to the hospital to give birth, I can only have one person with me, one support person with me, no visitors, and whoever is there with me is going to have to stay for the entire time I'm in the hospital. Mind you, I'm going in to be induced, so it's not like I'm going to labor at home then go to the hospital for a couple of days. No, I'm going to go there and be induced and have the whole entire labor process happen while I'm there in the hospital. So yeah, my support person was my mother because she was really good. Even the nurses were impressed by her. They said that, okay, she's really good support person. And my husband stayed home with my son. And I was in the hospital for a total of, I think, was it 4 days? Yeah, that's my son singing in the background. whatever. But anyways, so, go to the hospital. And so, something, and I was really grateful that I could at least have one person there, even though it kind of sucked because I had like a whole birth village set up. Like I had people that was going to come, for the birth. I want to have visitors. Anyway, so I was actually grateful that I could have at least one support person because I started hearing that people in New York who are giving birth are doing it alone. And that's, whoa. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine. So I'm just glad that I'm not one of those. So you know how in New York, I'm sure you guys know by now, New York is like the epicenter of the world because it's got the most cases there than anywhere else. And it's crazy. It's so crazy. I won't get into it much. But anyway, so I had my baby girl on March 29th at 11:46 a.m. on March 29th. And she's absolutely beautiful. She was born 20.5 inches, 7 pounds and 2 ounces, I believe. And just a beautiful little thing. And I'm just so grateful, so happy that she came out. Everything was good. Everything went by smoothly. And I was so grateful because I was so worried with all the complications and all the extra drama and stuff. I was so worried. I was like, okay, she's going to end up in the ICU. Is this going to happen? She's going to have, she's premature. But they assured me that 37 weeks is not premature. It's preterm, but not premature. And she was born just as healthy as any baby born at 39 weeks, 30 or 40 weeks, whatever. So I'm eternally grateful for that. So yeah. So my daughter was born. And being new mom again, it's like a whole readjustment. Like this is my second child. So, it's not as scary as the first time around because I already kind of know the deal and everything, but it's definitely challenging because now not only do I have a newborn, I also have a toddler that I'm wrangling too. So I got both of them going on. And, so this is basically what's been going on. It sucks because we've been in the house with the exception of bringing her to her newborn appointments, which she had two, and everything else has been over the phone. I have not really left the house since she was born. Even like other people go grocery shopping for me, which is great. But it's like, it kind of sucks because, you have a brand new baby at home. All your family, your friends, they want to come see you. They want to come visit. Of course, I want people to come visit. My stepdaughter, my goddaughter, my friends, my family, like my cousins, everybody wants to come over. And I can't let anybody come into the house because of the stupid virus that's going on. And I can't wait this whole pandemic thing is over because it's like, I just want to go outside without anxiety, without fear. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to come on and let you guys know this. Also, some people are probably wondering right by now, like, what is that noise in the background? Yeah, well, mamas out there probably already know. It's my breast pump. Yeah. I am currently pumping right now as I'm talking to you. Gotta get milk for my daughter. See? Isn't that sexy? I keep it real. So. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know what's been going on. That's what's been going on for the past couple of months. With this whole corona thing, with, the complications that I had during my pregnancy, towards the end of my pregnancy. I'm so glad that everything came out okay because it was really scary. Also, too, I just want to let you guys know that I do have some things planned. I have some things in store. I don't know when I'm going to get these stuff out, but, I'm taking my time right now because I have a newborn and because I have a toddler and I'm just trying to adjust and not because, I have not... What is sleep? I have not slept well in nights, in days, or weeks, or whatever. My eyes right now, my eyes probably look like that I'm only running on 3 hours of sleep. That's probably because I am. It's like, I'm just tired. That's just what it is. So because of that, it's kind of a challenge to get things out. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to take my time. I'm not trying to do too much. I'm going to put out a women's health series or whatever, just talk about different women's health topics. I have a lot of them in store for you guys. Got a couple of interviews, pretty cool stuff that's going on. Interesting. I hope that you guys will stay tuned and bear with me. And yeah, that's basically what's been going on. But anyways, I just want to say thank you so much again for tuning in, for sticking it out with me. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, give me a thumbs up. Just show your support, show your love. And like I said, I've got plenty more videos coming. I got them planned for you. And if you want to be in the know for when those videos come out, there's a little red button down over there. It's a subscribe. It says subscribe. You should press that button so that way when I post another video, you will know, be notified. Oh no, you got to ring the bell for that. So hit subscribe, hit the bell, be notified when I post up videos. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so glad that you guys are here. I'm glad I got a chance to get this out for you. And hope you guys stay blessed and have a good day. Bye.